My longship's in Valhalla. But don't you remember? Fire starter.
Nerd reactor, roll out.
What's up, Reactorites? John here, and I've had the chance to play 4 hours of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'll be talking to you about what you can expect from this game, the different gameplay mechanics, and what I felt about the game, in general. Right off the bat, you can start between choosing the male version or female version of Eivor. And after that, after you choose the character, you start off in the early Middle Ages of England, and the story takes place in 873 CE, and it's during a time of the Viking expansion, the Viking invasion. And so pretty much Eivor and his clan, their ideas align with Oswald, who's going to be a future king of East Anglia, and pretty much Rued is pretty much the antagonist, trying to take the king down, or the future king down, and he does not want any part of this whole peace between the Saxons and the Danes. So here we see the map. This is the map of what I was able to experience in Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the demo. And it's a pretty big map. I'm not sure if it's bigger than, let's say, Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Origins, with you get to like visit a big map of Egypt or a big map of Greece. But then, those definitely are not one-to-one scale. But this one, you'll be getting to visit different lands in Northumbria, East Mercia, East Anglia, West Mercia, and Wessex. And what I do like about this is the map is different. It's a drawing, and it kind of captures how people did the maps back then. There's a lot of mystery behind this map, especially with different locations. You go to a certain spot, and because there's going to be encounters with legendary creatures, different puzzles, side missions, and all that, and mysteries. Like, there's a lot of mystery in this game, in this demo, and I'll be talking about that later. But yeah, as for the gameplay, if you've played Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you will have a feeling of how this game is going to play out. For the most part, it's the same thing. And with combat, because they're going for more of that RPG experience compared to the previous Assassin's Creed game. And so that means characters, their life bar is going to be longer, and no longer are you going to have these cool insta deaths where you're a badass assassin and a bunch of enemies come at you, you counter and you kill them like nothing. But here you have to put in some effort, just because they want to make the game longer. And I guess there are a lot of gamers out there that want a more challenging experience, and I guess it's not challenging if you're just countering a move and killing them instantly. But for me, I like that, just because I like feeling like a badass assassin, and I want to feel like nobody can touch this assassin. But what I do like is this new radio wheel, where you can select different options, like calling your horse. You can put on your cloak. So I haven't tried this in an area city yet, but maybe later on, if you're wanted, you can put on the cloak and you can hide from people. I'm not sure yet. But here, I'm putting on the cloak just to look like a badass, but I completely failed at being a badass, as you can see. And other buttons that you can use, you can choose, is you can call for backup for raiding monasteries. You can raid monasteries, and you can also meditate. You can also go fishing. I didn't get a chance to go fishing, but I do want to try it out, later in the full game. And you can light a torch, and you can request music on a ship. And so that's back. If you love listening to shanties in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, this will have music, and you can also request for stories. Let's talk about the combat. Like I've said before, it's more in line with the recent Assassin's Creed games, and you'll have to like fight these enemies where they have a longer life bar, so you have to do combos, and you got to parry, you got to dodge, and then once you do that, then you can counter, and you can also use special abilities. So those are back. So as a Viking, you get to dual wield weapons, and you just select one single-handed weapon for your left hand and another single-handed weapon for your right hand. So you can do like an axe and then a shield combination and other types of combinations for different weapons. And then there are also two-handed weapons. For the stealth mechanics, they're pretty much the same except for the button placement for this one. It's R1 if you're using the DualShock, and then right bumper if you're using the Xbox One controller. Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, you're dealing with higher, when you're dealing with higher leveled characters or tougher enemies, you won't be able to instantly kill them like in the past. And that's the whole RPG element, so it kind of takes away from the immersion or the realistic aspect of it. But if you like the RPG side, that's great. But this one, they introduced a new thing where if you assassinate them and they're tougher than you, you have an option to press the button in time with the indicator on the screen. So if you hit it at the right spot, you'll deal a lot more damage. And sometimes you can insta-kill them by executing it correctly. But other than that, the core stealth mechanics still similar to Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, where you can crouch, you can move out, you can hide in the tall grass, you can remain hidden, and you can also whistle, luring the enemies closer to you. But this one, you can use your Odin sight, Odin vision, whatever they call it, and you can sense where secret items are at, where enemies are at. I tried using the Raven, but I couldn't get it to work where you can track and you can tag enemies. I'm not sure if they removed it or somehow I wasn't able to pull it off, or I didn't see the buttons for that. Maybe they changed it. But yeah, it looks like it may have been removed just to make the stealth missions more challenging. You get to earn skill points and abilities through various activities. You can gain skill points from missions and puzzles, and you can spend the points on different skills. And then there's abilities. I discovered one ability by going inside a building through by unlocking a door, and this ability was the Dive of the Valkyries. And this is a move where you can launch Eivor into the air, crashing down onto enemies. Very powerful move, which I used it a lot. I spammed this move a lot to great effect. It's like once you find the move you like, you're gonna keep on using it until it no longer works. And so with this abilities, you can assign them to specific buttons, and you have the choice between assigning them to the ranged abilities or the melee abilities. And let's talk about the parkour. And it's an Assassin's Creed game, so parkour is still an important part of the traversal experience. And for parkour, like my favorite parkour is still Assassin's Creed Unity. Despite the bugs that were very much apparent during launch, I still enjoyed just the way the character moves and just how it's fluid. It's not perfect, but it looks cool. Like you get to go up and down, and like the way he moves up and down he's got flair to it. He's got style. But with the new introduction with Origins and Odyssey, I was hoping that parkour animation would be brought back, but it feels like they simplified the parkour for those. And since this game is very much similar to Odyssey and Origins, the parkour is similar. And so you go about, you traverse, you can climb, you can jump down, but it's not as flashy. So that's what I miss. I miss the flashy parkour and just running around, being pursued, but still looking cool while you're doing it. So like the other previous Assassin's Creed games, Odyssey and Origins, this one has different challenges, puzzles, and all that. There are legendary animals throughout the world, and I've encountered this one called the Black Shuck, and it's pretty tough. It's pretty ferocious, and it's especially made tougher with a longer life bar. So there are other mysteries surrounding the world, including supernatural beings. And I've encountered this character named Reagan, and she has the power to kind of just move really fast and just glow, and it's like witchcraft. And she's a pretty dark character. Like her lair, it's like she's hidden somewhere in the forest, and there's like dead bodies all around, or a dead body, and it's but yeah, you'll be encountering some supernatural elements, and I'm not sure how it's explained, whether she has the power of the artifacts of Eden, but it just looks like she's just powerful. And there are other puzzles that are very different. Some puzzles are familiar, especially if you play previous Assassin's Creed games, where you use your Odin vision to see hidden signs, and one puzzle had you aligning a symbol together. So it's kind of like the symbol is separated into different areas, different objects. You got to align Eivor into the right spot to match them together to match the symbol. And there's another puzzle where you have to stack stones, build them up so they reach a certain height, and it kind of tells you the history, the childhood of Eivor and Eivor's mom. So it's kind of like in Assassin's Creed Origins, where you're the different puzzle of looking through the skies, the stars, and it tells you it gives you a little bit more insight on Bayek and his son. So this puzzle, spread out, will give you more insight on Eivor's childhood. It's not a cool puzzle, but it's a puzzle nonetheless. In this one, we were introduced the main epic battle sequence, and this one is the Ruud. Ruud is the guy that's attacking. He's the enemy, and we find out that Oswald is still alive, so we got to save Oswald and take down Ruud. And so this is the mission where you really get to test out your abilities, your actions, your skills. So this one, I spammed my Dives of the Valkyrie's ability, and it's a move that works, so I used it. So yeah, right after I do the Dives of the Valkyrie, I can instantly kill the person or just do a huge amount of damage on them. And so this is made tougher when you're trying to ram the gates, break them open, while this ensuing war is happening all around you. And so you just gotta focus on what you want to do, balance it out between that and taking out the enemies. And then sooner or later, you're gonna reach Ruud. So when encountering Ruud, there are different ways to encounter him. You can actually just climb up, meet with him dead on, and just fight him. Or you can try to be tactful and climb around buildings, and then there's a rope on top of him which you can use to attack from above, which deals a heavy amount of damage. So there are different options on how to handle certain situations. So that one I really enjoyed. I like that part. So yeah, in this game there are choices, and I think I did experience a choice where I had the option of either killing Ruud or letting him live. And by letting him live, he did kill a person. So yeah, these are choices that you make that will have repercussions in the end. So what would happen if I were to kill him? Would he still come back? Would something else bad happen? Because Oswald is all about just sparing people, giving them a chance, or not killing them, not killing the enemies, even though the enemy has done some horrendous things. And so what's going to happen in the future of the land? So maybe if you become this person that spares people, people will have more hope, like, oh, this is a good person, I want to be by this person. Or if you become ruthless, they're going to become ruthless, and then maybe people is not going to trust you. But we'll see how that will affect you later on in the full game. There are mini games. Some of the mini games I've tried, there's drunken archery, and there's drinking, and then helping out a drunk friend, which is a side mission. And this is all taking place during the wedding event. And there is also a romance option during this event. And as a male Eivor, I was courted. I was one of the male characters was trying to hint at sex. And so in the game, you have the option to say yes or no. And so this is male-on-male romance. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have all types of romances. If it's going to be similar to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where that one you have the option of male-on-male, female-on-male. And so different choices, different choices to make everybody happy. And so for my final reaction for this is that Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the demo that I played through, the thing that will get me most excited about this is, the characters, the story, the setting, Vikings, Eivor, invading, raiding, or doing all that stuff that Vikings do. But take that away, the story, the core is still the same as the previous two Assassin's Creed games, Odyssey and Origins, where the core fighting mechanics, stealth, parkour, still the same. So if you enjoyed those, look forward to this game. But if you weren't a huge fan of those games because of the additions or the changes from the previous ones, this one's going to be more of the same, just with some few new features introduced here or there, and more of this RPG experience with dialogue options and romance. So I think the biggest sell for this is just the Viking setting, the story, and just this new world of this England, and kings and monarchies and castles and all that, if you want to see that. But so far in the demo, just experiencing the world, I wasn't really wowed by what I'm seeing, because most of it is just forests and small villages. Hopefully we'll get to see that in the full game, like big, beautiful castles or big areas that are just pretty to look at. Because in Odyssey and Origins, what I really love about those two games, the statues, like giant Greek statues, those are beautiful. And seeing the pyramids, those are wonderful to see, and then you get to climb those. So I'm hoping we get to see something here. But so far from the demo, I wasn't really wowed by the area, in terms of just, this is a cool place to be. So yeah, those are my thoughts for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And you can follow me on Twitch, and you can also follow us on Discord. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and just leave a comment. And with that said, I'm John, and I'll see you guys next time.